Alrighty, welcome back to the Booga Box live stream. It is Wednesday, the April 28th. Welcome. Hope y'all are having a good Wednesday. And if you've already joined in, thanks for joining. If you're watching later, thanks for just watching later. It's always good to have as many people as we can. Watch some chainmail, chat a bit, whatnot. Tonight's Wednesday, so we're going to be doing a small project night. Going to work on a bracelet. Just doing my normal setups here. We're going to work on sonic waves, supersonic waves. Thought I had done something similar, and I did, but it was more of a just a European foreign one kind of weave for the most part. This, when I looked at the picture earlier today, I was like, I need to make sure I know what I'm doing here. So I was looking at the picture and trying to figure out, uh-oh, what happened? I have no idea what happened here. Go back to normal, hopefully. I don't know why I did that. Now, I did have all my cameras unhooked and stuff for the concert last night, so I did have to hook all that back up today. Okay, I think everything is for the most part ready. Everything's streaming to everywhere it needs to stream to. But anyway, when I was looking at the picture, I was like, well, it's definitely different, because basically you got this one big ring is going through all four of them. This one will go through three of them. That one goes through two, through one. So it's a little bit different than what I was thinking it was going to be. But we're going to go ahead and kind of get started here. It's kind of the beginning of the weave, and I want to have no idea how long it's going to take, since I haven't really done anything like this per se before. I'm going to do some pre-closing here, and I've got a few ways I could weave this. I'm kind of debating. I might change up after we do one, maybe do it one way and then try the next way. Because I mean, I'll start with kind of the 4-in-1 basic, where I'll put them all on the one big ring and have all the closed ones already there. But going to the next one, I could weave them one at a time, and then, you know, just weave up, come back, weave down, style thing. But looking at it, I should be able to just open up one, put on the whole next row, put it on, and then come in and weave the additional 3. So there's 2 ways I could possibly do it, and that's what I'm gonna. Alright, make sure I'm up here. My camera is definitely in a different position than it had been. So we'll see how it goes. I didn't get any adjusting done down on my boxes below. I'm going to be reorganizing some of that stuff. Don't think I can really reorganize it too much where I can get more room down there, but we'll see. But that one's got a cut in it. The hidden cut. You know, I've noticed one thing. It seems like my reds always give me more issues than any other color when it comes to oddities in the ring. I don't know. I use a lot of red, but this is going to be a weird combo. It's red and sky blue. I was like, oh, I want to do something a little different. I don't think I've ever mixed these 2 colors, and I pulled out some to kind of set up, just so I kind of get a basic idea of how everything was going to work there. And I was like, well, these colors aren't too bad together. Different, but you know. Alright, so we go down and work the line here. Try to keep pliers out of the way. We'll just put on the 3 or 4 that way. And put on, you know, I could have done it a different way, but this is just in my brain, keeping me in check on which rings are where. here. We'll need to split them. I'll put it down real quick. Like I said, it always takes a little longer to do it this way, but just so you can see it, that kind of looks like there's a pendant out there of a butterfly that kind of looks similar to this. It's another thing I haven't tried yet. I don't have any big rings, but a bigger ring that goes around it, and then they'll attach these to the outside, so it looks kind of like a butterfly, I think. I don't know. I might have to look into that. That's what it's reminding me of, anyway. I'd have to look at that picture more too. Alright, so we'll go through 4 the first time, so we'll go through 3 on this ring. Right now it's going to be a jumbled mess. Hopefully I can keep it all organized and not have to pull it apart to have my brain understand where I was at again. Let's get split apart here. Here's the little one. Alright, so we're still good there. Come on, flip back over. And then we'll put in the next blue, and it'll go through 2. And then the last one will go through a single. It'll look a little dangly till it actually gets on the wrist, probably. Just because it's going through just 2, it becomes a 2-in-1 right there. So, okay. I'll split back apart and flip the right way. So, yeah, and then we got the single through the last one. Put it through there. There's still a lot of room in there because I was kind of wonder if I could make some type of earring that could go along with this. And I've got a few other ideas I might try during the week too with this weave, just by the more I was looking at it, and maybe turning it and just going up and back and forth straight line instead of side to side like this is going to be. It could be pretty neat. So that's where we are with that. Is it in my frame? Not by a lot, but put it up there, and that's basically one chunk of it. And the next is to come through and do the same thing again. So if I was to do a single line, I'd put this on up through there. That would be my start, then I'd go to the next ring. So I'm going to go ahead and open these, but I'm not going to use them right this second, because I'm going to close up another row of red and hook them right onto that. If I put them big to small, same way, I should be able to just weave that whole row on together if they're pre-closed. And again, I could just do it singly and just do all the blues next and then go into the next red. Don't know which way is quicker, if there is one quicker. I just figured this is probably the easiest way. And then I do like to pre-close when they're by themselves, so you can get much better closures that way. At least I can. Everything's just so much less, going on. You got things dangling off of it, wanting to pull on it and stuff. It's just there. So we do that, and we go start with that because we're going to come up through. Yeah. So start large to small, I think would be the easiest way, and then just weave it through all 4 of these. Like that. And then we can come back through and add the others. The next ring will go through 3. So we can just start at the bottom there and come up through the 3. No, don't Mobius on me. So we did kind of jump in here tonight. I just kind of, like I said, I hadn't done this, so I have no idea how long this will take. I want to try to fit it into the stream tonight, so kind of taking my time in a way, but come on, ring. Alright, there we go. So, and then we can go with the next one that goes through 2. Alright, yeah. So it's coming up the right side, still the same way. And then the last single, I mean, this might actually come together fairly quickly by the looks of it. I mean, it's a pretty simple looking weave. Alright, I'll just flip here and go through that way. For the most part. But it looks kind of neat. That's why I'd saved a picture of it a long time ago. Who was the original maker of this? I believe that's who I saved the picture from. That's again why I'm not showing the picture, but it is an open weave. I don't want to do weaves that have tutorials where, you know, you could give something away from the tutorial. Other than, I mean, sometimes I don't even know if there's a tutorial for some things I might try. I have no idea. When you're just playing around, you're not quite sure. So that's pretty much coming together pretty easily. I have that one dangle. I'll probably use blue and come down one ring each time to come off and to my clasp area. But we'll have to see how far we go out on this before we decide to close it up and see how big we end up running on it. And let's see here. Been kind of rainy today, kind of yucky out. Nothing real special about the day for the most part. About like any other day. There, got some things done that I need to get done. Mostly normal house stuff that I got to do. Kind of got a little behind, but in a way, it's a busy week. I got basically something going on, either a live stream, concert, banquet, something going on almost every night this week. Well, I do have everything every night this week. Monday I did the live stream. Yesterday was the concert, which went well. They were sounding good. Alright, so yeah, then we just go backwards again. Put on the large, small, and up through. Yeah, it's probably quicker in a way. I don't know, I guess the only way to really find out would be to time each way, but first ones I never really time, just because it could take more time. Oh, yeah, I gotta come through this side. Through this way, yeah. Just so I get the basic idea, in case something confuses it and I gotta stop timing, or if I gotta take something apart, remember to change it and fix all that. So first ones I just do. Then again, that's why I like to do 3 or 4 the same thing. Just gives me a better idea of how long it could take, and make sure I understand the weave before I start trying to figure out a time that it takes to do any particular thing. After that, I always check my time. If I haven't made something in a while, just see if I'm pretty close to it still. Kind of depends on these blue ones just feels right, but then it's not, I had to bring that one up to give it a looky-see. I wonder if it's only that size. We'll find out after we do some more. But a pretty simple weave, actually. I kind of digging it. I mean, I like the look of it. That's why I decided to do it tonight. I've thought about it the last couple days. I want to keep trying something new for a small project night for the most part. Just, one, I can expand on product, and then just, everything you learn kind of helps you with something else later on. So that's coming along. I'm kind of digging the colors in a way. Thought about doing silvers in them. You could probably do the rainbow of each color. There's 4 across. Could make all the rainbow in one and silver in between. And there's all kinds of different color combinations. My camera did it again, didn't it? I have no idea why it's doing that. Well, this could be a different camera than I had normally had up here, so maybe that's why, since I'm not recording. I don't know how long it was like that, so sorry. I'll have to get a little more looky-see into that here when I get done. I don't want to take time during our stream tonight to play with that and watch the screen do its thing. Unless it keeps happening a lot. I mean, that's twice already in 15 minutes we've been streaming, so we might have to take care of that and see if there's something in the menu that I have weirdness to. Well, the other fan just shut off. It was rainy, but at least it cooled down so we could open back up the house. Last couple days we had to turn on the air. I know it's going to get to those days where it's air conditioned daily, but I'd rather not run it if I don't need to. It's nice out. Other than the rain, it's nice out. Not too humid. Just checking real quick if I had any comments on the Twitch or YouTubes. You can go and subscribe and like us on those too if you're into those. You can watch us from there. I guess I don't have to really put down the pliers, I guess. No, I was more doing it so you could get a good picture without pliers in the way. Who knows how much they're in the way. I guess I do when I watch them. Last few live streams I haven't really gone back to rewatch because they were alright. I didn't have any issues with them and everything seemed to work fine, so I didn't go and rewatch them. Well, it's just been busy. Since they've had their last concert last night, I'm way behind on doing DVDs this year. It didn't really, I mean, I knew it and I'd said a few things here and there about it, but it wasn't until I was at the concert last night I was like, oh yeah, normally I have all my covers done and everything printed up. All my video, well, normally all my video done before the last concert, because I'm waiting just for that last concert to finish everything up, but I've gotten so far behind that I got some videos ready. Don't have them all done yet, that's for sure. I do try changing it up every year and learning new things, but not to say that it won't be different than previous years, because I will make it different in ways. I always try to cycle through the different formats that I do with them, because I've done so many of them through so many years now. It's crazy. How long is that right now? About 2.5 inches. So, and we've been into it less than 20 minutes, and that's with jibber jabbering and spending time doing some other stuff too. So this could come along fairly good. It's going to be quite a few rings in a way compared to some weaves. I'm trying to imagine. Probably want to make this probably about 7.5, and then put the clasp areas on each end. And then we'll see what it comes out to on the old sizer, because it can be a little bit different when it's laying flat compared to when it's around the wrist. So I like to use the bracelet sizer so you get a better number on your sizing. Laid out flat. There's some weaves that you can lay it out flat and it'll be 8 inches, and as soon as you put it around and put it on your ring sizer, you're at 5. It's like, how did I lose that much? Well, it's fairly thick weave, so it kind of takes more of a bend to get there, so we're good. Oh, there you are. I flipped over to the other side. I worked a little bit more on the jelly cubes yesterday. little bit of time that I did have. Once I got preparing for the concert around 3, make sure everything was ready to go for it, and then pretty much didn't get done till about 3 a.m. this morning. By the time I got the rest of the videos done and uploaded and everything like that, I kept having a weird one of my videos came out where it wanted to rotate through the whole video. I didn't realize it until after it already uploaded it to YouTube, and so I had to recreate that one. And it's easy when I do the quick nightly or the night of the concert stuff, because I normally just upload the one view. When I go to work the DVD videos, I can have anywhere from one camera view only up to, I guess there's been some that have had 5 different camera views I had to go through and mix in or choose from, and that's where I spend most time. If it was just all single quick views, just the event, it'd be really easy to get the DVDs done, but when you've got 4 or 5 different views and you're trying to mix them together, you got to get everything lined up right, and then you got to decide where you want to make your cuts and all that. That can take a little while. And whenever I do it, I'm kind of a pain when I do it. Sorry, just looking around, see if I had any comments. Just because I want to work on it and keep playing with it, because I'm never satisfied. Even when I'm done with it, for the most part, there's always something I want to change, what I could do. And I eventually just have to tell myself, enough's enough. Looks good, better than you've done before type thing, but it's like, I know I can still do more. I want to do more. So that's what I'll be spending a lot of time on. So I'll have a little less chainmail time other than the streams for sure. I'll be here for my planned streams. But off-wise, I'll probably just spend a little bit of time when I can, when doing a conversion and encoding of the video and stuff. Sometimes I can have, a half-hour break from it before I got to start, working on the next thing I need to process. So that'll give me a little time here and there to get into it, but I'll also be, have to do the normal stuff around the house. And now that we're into spring, the yard work has got to get stayed upon, caught up on, and then get it caught up, and then, keep it caught up. That's always the bigger issue. So like, you get it all done, then it's like, can I take a month off? No, you can't. You must keep going. So we'll just continue working on this. I guess I'll kind of say hi again if anybody has showed up and watching the stream now. Excuse me. We're just sitting here working on the supersonic wave weave. Thanks for joining, or if you're watching later, thanks for watching. We're just kind of farting around on small project night. I wanted to do something that I can get done in a stream in the night within the hour and a half that I normally plan to do. So, and I think we probably will with this. I think it's going to go pretty quickly. I mean, it might take a little over an hour to get it going. We'll see once we get a little further into. Got a nice little chunk done already, and again, everything takes a little bit longer when you're streaming, just because I have to sit at different angles. I don't mind it, it's just different. I have to kind of relearn a few things here and there as I've been doing it. Mostly just trying to remember to keep in view, since that's one thing I've never had to really worry about before. As long as I could see it, that was good enough. Now I have to make sure everybody else can see it too. Yeah, I was going to try to do a single singles, a single row at a time, and show that difference. But I don't know, I think I like it better this way. I think it's going to be quicker in the end too, but I don't know. Like I said, I will be doing a couple more of these off camera, so I might give one bracelet a try one way complete through in time, and do another bracelet the other way completely through, same length, and get a time on it. Yeah, I had to pull that one up. That was. Sometimes I like to get a closer look at them whenever it doesn't go together like I imagine it. Not getting a smooth closure. These blues are definitely giving me more of a booger of a time to get closed up, though, that's for sure. Alrighty. I forgot one over there on that row. That's what I did. I was like, why does it not look right? Forgot to put one in. I kind of tweaked that ring the wrong way there for a second. Wrong way. So it looks a little different each side, actually. I didn't even think about looking at it that way. I guess maybe if I turn it this way, I'd not notice it as much, because one way you can see more of one color than the other, and then you turn it sideways and it looks a little different too. So how long are we now? We're just about 4 inches. So well, I just need to get out a few rings here and make me a little pile of each size so I can grab from them easy. I had those others laid out just for quick reference, so while I was starting and kind of planning my night through, just viewing the rings. I don't want to have to keep doing that. I could, that just takes longer than just getting them out. And so we'll just get something ready here and grab what's needed. Oh, camera did it again. I do not know. Hopefully I'm catching it quick enough for y'all that it's not giving you too many issues. See, it must have been this. Oh, no. Yeah, maybe this is just one camera I haven't even actually set up to do a stream with. No, I've had all three going at once, though. That's weird. The other camera's not giving me any kind of issues, so it was already pre-closed. Maybe I should have used it up on as my upper, but then I'd be having a problem with the side camera. I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know where that setting would be. I mean, I've been using these cameras for my oldest one. I got 3 of the same Sony cameras. First one I probably got now at least 10, 12 years ago. And then a few years later I got another one, and a couple of years later I got another one. So they're all the same, and I've used them all many times. I'm unsure of why that's popping up. Now granted, for years I just used it when I was out videotaping, so memory cards in it and everything else. It was a little different doing streaming with them, but no idea why it's coming up and doing that. I'll have to take it down later and figure it out. Like I said, if you're watching the video and you see it happen, I'm still here. The other camera seems to be going fine, so you can tell I'm still doing stuff. Definitely a little weird going to these 16 gauge now, large rings, larger anyway than doing the jelly cubes. It's 1/8 inch, 18 gauge. So that's been a little bit weird again. Slide over. That's all you had to do, is just slide over. One. But yeah, I'm gonna try to do this weave just a little bit differently on the overall design too. I think I can make it run top to bottom instead of side to side. I don't know if it'll look good or not, but in my head I can kind of see it, and I think it would look kind of good to kind of wider and come down and wider and come down. Be more like a music wave or something. But that would be kind of cool, I think. So I might have to try that after I do a few of these, once I get some color combination ideas again. If you all ever see something, then give me some color ideas. Oh, excuse me. Just post them to a video. I'll see them there just at any point in time, or make a post to the wall. Give me some. Everything I keep doing is like, do I want a single purple? Do I want to mix it with others? And that goes with any color for the most part. Do I want to do a solid? Is this? This would still probably look kind of good solid, maybe. Some things I just don't think would work right solid because you won't see the intricacies. I'm trying to use big words that my mouth can't do. My brain's processing the word just fine, but my mouth can't. You just wouldn't be able to see it as well. You know, you wouldn't notice that. I don't think you'd notice as much that of the different ring sizes if they were all the same color, because everything would kind of bleed together in a way. So, who knows though? You know, the only way you can really know is if you just do it. Sometimes you just have to do one to see what happens, and if it works, it works. If not, I mean, it's still there, and it's still the weave, it's still the braces, it's still the same, everything for the most part, just different colors. But that also gives any, you know, out at events. That's why I kind of like to do several, so that you can kind of get a different. Some weaves can look different, even though they're the exact same weave, but just changing up the colors makes them so much different. You know, even though if you really look at them, you're like, well, that's the same, but it just looks different because it's either, you know, comparing it to a solid one compared to one that's got color into it, just looks different. So, and I've seen that happen on a few weaves that I've done. It was like I did them single colored. I was like, well, that doesn't, you know. Then I started, when I first started doing a lot years ago, I started with solid color of everything. And then I'd work up to changing and making color combinations and whatnot after that. And I always ended up liking the color combinations first better. I just never do them all at first there for a while, just, I guess, more of a habit. But now I try to think of a color combination to add to my first ones anymore. I just think I can get a better idea of it. Sometimes it'll help with actually keeping track of where you're at in certain part on certain weaves. So I don't mind it too much. Put that in the wrong spot. Okay. But this uses 4 different ring sizes, obviously, to get the different sizes there. Oh, let me check here. Everything looks like it's going good. Good network. Don't see any other comments, other places. Just wanted to give a quick gander. Oh, yeah, these are closed, dummy. Trying to make these a little easier to see. My internet stuff, so I hopefully don't keep track more of everything, what's people and what everybody's doing, if they're posting, blah blah blah. Because none of them have dingers to say, hey, you've got a new message. So sometimes it might take a few minutes for me to actually see you make a post, and if I don't catch it right off the bat, I am sorry. I do, when there's more people in here, I'm checking more often. I'm not even sure. I haven't even looked to see if I've got anybody in the room tonight. I think I did at one point, but that was early on, and I was just kind of, like I said, I don't check it as often anymore, so I just kind of glanced and seen that there was at least somebody, I think it was on Facebook, I don't even remember that now. I figure, I'll just kind of do my thing, and people come in and they watch and don't comment, that's perfectly fine. Everybody does their own thing. I watch several other streams of chainmailers that there's a lot of times I don't comment in theirs because I'm just sitting there weaving my own stuff, just watching and listening to them. Whenever I need to stop for a second, I can kind of look up over them if I are hear whomever talking about something that I kind of want to pause so I can listen to a little bit better. I will. Well, yeah, this is going to be a fairly quick one. I mean, trying to remember how long it was taking me on those. What was that I did last week? I can't even remember now. I've got 4 of them. I did 2 bigger ones, 2 smaller ones. I can't even see it from where I'm at right now. If I'd seen them, I'd be like, oh yeah, duh. Sometimes I have to remind myself of the weave names because I just kind of do them, and sometimes I give them my own name. There's a few items that I did just give different name, and they have basic names that they were called by the creator, and then after time, people make variations on them. They come up with separate names. There was a few pieces like that, a few weaves that I had learned one way, and then later on found out the original author that created the weave, and found out that it was called something different. So sometimes that happens with chainmail, though. I mean, like I said, when I first started, I was doing things that had weave names out there, but I had no idea. It was just, I was kind of just playing with rings, and it became a thing that looked cool, but somebody had already thought of it, and it had a name. I just didn't know it at the time. I try to keep more up to date on that anymore. Oh, there went the camera again. Yeah, I do not understand that. It's not powering down. That's the big thing that I had to make sure I had set up for streaming. That when I'm recording, I normally won't have that kind of issue because you've got it doing something. But on a stream, when it's using the outputs of it, if I have it set for auto shut off and stuff, it just shuts it off because it doesn't think anything's happening. If you're not playing, it's kind of like PlayStation. We're going to shut down now because you haven't touched us and done anything in a while, so. Or Netflix after, I guess, a few hours. Are you still with us? We're not going to continue to play if you're not here. Which is kind of nice in a way, but other times it can be irritating. I guess it's gotten better, but most anymore I just kind of watch DVDs that I currently have, and so I don't have to, I mean, I have to move them around or whatnot, but, you know. Watch a series of shows that I've got, and I can watch, several at one setting without having to worry about it. And if I miss one, because, I mean, I hardly ever sit down anymore just to watch TV. I'm normally doing something else, so I'll catch pieces, parts of a lot of different things here and there. That's why I haven't really watched a whole lot of new movies lately. I've just never have time, really. I mean, I guess sometimes I have time, but I normally fill it with something else. It's like, oh, I'm watching this, and then I'll be like, okay, this is good, but I need to do this, I need to do that. By the time I get back, the movie's over. I It's like if I miss 5 minutes, it's one thing. And I could pause it, and that's what I normally do when I rewatch it. I'll go to that part and start from there. But just on occasion, I gotta pull one up and give it a look-see, just so I can see it a little bit better and make sure I'm not feeling something that's not there, or feeling something that's there that's not there. That's the strange one. I was just looking at my camera real quick again, seeing my in frame, and is it... Oh, why did I close that? And I did look to see that this wasn't a sold tutorial one. It's been... The creator did put it out into the ether for everybody, so... Like I said, I don't want to do one that's only a paid tutorial of somebody's. I do those weaves and I buy the tutorials. Even the ones that I figured out my own, I end up getting the tutorial before I'll sell it myself. And most time, you know, there might be a little something different that they'll talk about in the tutorial than what I was doing whenever I just kind of figured it out on my own. But I don't want to really put those on too. If I ever do any, it will be all for mistake, because I am trying to make sure to look that up on these weaves that I'm doing. When it comes to bottle wrap and the inlays and stuff, that's something different, because I fully create, you know, all that in itself. So, but when I'm doing basic weaves for bracelets and stuff, there are times where I've sat down and played, and like I said, once I thought I figured something out, when I really go to start looking, I find out that somebody else has already done it, and so then I want to find out, is it somebody that created and has a paid tutorial for it, or is it, did they give it out for free? Because some do some one way, some do it the other way, and it's all good. I don't mind any of that. I mean, that's part of being a chainmail. There's a few things that I've done that I kind of just gave out there, and sometimes it's just a little bit different style, but you know, I still like to look and find out all that stuff beforehand. Where are we at here? Well, about 45 minutes in, 42. Oh yeah, this will get done here pretty soon. Definitely on the quicker side of a bracelet. I mean, still not some of them that you can just get out there super quick, but it's could be a little below the average, because there are some bracelets that can take, you know, a good, if you're butting ends like this, if you're, I don't want to talk about doing welded up stuff, because that can take a little bit longer of time to do all that. I mean, once you get in the groove, it can move pretty quickly, but well, John's not here tonight, I don't think. Well, if you are John, hey, he normally says something, but he does a lot of smaller welding stuff, so when he gets into the groove of that, he can probably move pretty fast on welding that up. But just butted in stuff, you know, this is, I've had some weaves and it's taken me 3 to 4 hours, and others that are, you know, there's some that I can do in, you know, 20 minutes. It just depends on the weave and how many rings that it takes to actually make the weave, so that'll always change up everything. Some weaves will use the same amount of rings as another weave per inch per se, but one can take twice as long just because of the weaving aspect of it that you have to do. You know, it can be, some are quicker. This one's a fairly quick one because it's basically a 4 and European style weave. Can't call it a 4-in-1 or 3-in-1 or 2-in-1 or whatnot, because it does it differently. It is goes through 4 or 3, or yeah, it goes through 4 at one point, 3 at one point, 2 at one point. So it's one of those weird ones. Where are we at now here? We're we're almost at 7.5. We're gonna, if we end on, should I end on the same color, or should I go one more, or should I add 2 more? That's the ultimate question. Let me go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and take this side here. We're gonna go with this one. Let's see here, if we go through those 2 and then one smaller, and let's try that. Let's see how that looks. We'll go with that one and the one smaller, and then we'll go into one of those through the clasp. We'll see how that works. So we need to come through 2 and then those 2. Is that what I'm thinking? Then yeah, and then we'll go to a smaller red to end it. I wonder what my phone was making a beepy for, or dingy for. So we'll go with that there, and then we can go with one bigger. Yeah, I should have put that one. Yeah, let's take that off there real quick. That one should go down on the other side. Use the bigger one up top, keeping the same flow. We'll use it on the 2 biggers, and then use the bigger ring on the 2 smallers. That should be the way we should do that. And if we put them, then we'll just have 2, and then we'll use a single and put that up the clasp on it. Should have a clasp sitting over here. I think I got one out for it. If we got, I was hoping it's like, now if we get done, I want to have a clasp ready. Then we'll use a small red. And that should hold that all. So it's a little, let's see here, let me get the clasp on and we'll look at it a little closer, see if we want to change that any. Never know sometimes. I don't think, I did not even look at how the clasp would go on, how they were doing the clasp in the picture that I saved, but I mean overall that ain't too bad. Could flip that way. If I could, though. No, that's leaning over. No, yeah, that's what I need to do probably, is take the red one out, get this ring on top of that ring, and then weave through. I think that's what I should do. Let's see what it looks like anyway. Who knows, it might not work, it might. Alright, come off there. We're going to get you on top of you. Will that work any better? Let's go ahead and close it up, and we'll kind of lay it down and see what she looks like. Oh, and my camera done it again. It's like demo mode or something. I don't know why it would be in demo mode. I'll take them. None of them even came in that fashion. I put one into it just to see it. And that was so long ago, I don't remember what it would look like. Let's see here. Maybe it was actually better the other way. It's kind of doing a weird flop there. Yeah, maybe I should have. I mean, it looks okay when it does that, but let me see. I don't want it to be an issue when you put it on your wrist either, and pulling anything weird. So if I go to attach it that way, let's pull that up. So maybe we should go back the other way. That might be the best way. I guess I could bring that one into that. Bring that one down one. I don't know. Let me try that. Maybe we'll see if that works better. So this is another reason why I don't do times on my first ones. Just never know how you want to do closures if you don't know, or how you want to terminate an end. Sometimes you just don't know till you get to it, and sometimes you can see it in the picture, and there's probably a picture of it, but with the end on there, but I didn't really look, to be honest with you. I was just like, how's the weave done? How's the weave done? So if we bring that way, maybe that'll work better in that aspect of the overlap. Just going through 3 instead of just 2, because a smaller one will keep it there. Brings that a little closer together. Yeah. I almost wonder. Yeah, we'll go with that for now. That looks alright. I kind of wonder if maybe I should go to 3 and then down to 2, but that would be my only thing. Maybe we'll put it on the other side and see. Because I could, if I was to bring that one up through there, and then a smaller one through those 2, and then come with 2 reds and then a single blue. That's always the question when it comes to terminating your ends. How do you want to do the final? Some of them are kind of a pain if you got like a 3-sided type thing, like inverted round mail or something like that. Just because you got 3 ends and you can only go through 2 at once, so it's sometimes you have to coagulate a couple different things to kind of come through. If you make up your own end, it's a lot easier. But that's a lot of more bending of just wire. You gotta have you want to make sure you got good wire, and that's the problem. I don't want to just have junk wire to tie up ends. So I normally come through a couple different ways. There's real no weave to it. It's just more twisting it together within a few rings so that you can come out with a final single terminated end. So if I go through that would be 3. It's going through 3. But that one wouldn't be able to come up through 3. It'd have to come up through 2 only. But if I use a smaller one, yeah, we'll see here. What is this? I think I might go ahead and try to throw this on the... Did my video stop? Oh no. It's getting this out and looking at the video where it's currently at. It confused me. Let me see if I can kind of just get a basic idea of where we might be-ish at here. If I was to put on the end there, yeah, I want it to be the same though. So we're going to go ahead and put our terminating ends on this side too. We'll try something a little different and see if maybe we don't go to the big one. We'll just go with the next 3 sizes. Get rid of the big one each time, maybe. And then we could go with 2 reds, which would be maybe the same size on those. Maybe just go with 2 smallers. Maybe that's what we should do. Go with 2 smallers. And then I can finish that off with 1 small blue. Let's see what happens here. And that's part of what I like about the chainmail, that, especially when you're just playing around doing something different, something you have no idea what you're doing. You'll learn a good chunk of stuff in doing so. Let's see here. Because then we'll probably go back and change the other side to however we work out this side. If it looks better, I should say, I guess. It's got to look good. Otherwise, what was the point? So let's see here. We'll go with this one. Going through those. And basically the same. Well, that goes through 3, but we're going to continue with 3 here. And then we'll have 2 on the final. So a little bit different, but that's what we need to kind of start pulling it up together. And then a little one going through those two. And then we'll go to those two reds going through two of these each, right? Yeah. Go two, and then two. Then we come down with the single. And on this side, it will just be the single. That's where you would put your clasp through to close it up, attach it. Let's get back in view here. So, we just got the two there, and then we'll put in a single blue, and this was where the clasp would attach to it. We'll attach it and see what it looks like. How it pulls and everything like that. Onto the single. I can get it on there. Alright, so maybe I should just go with, right there. That looks really cool like that though, when it's actually going to be on you. Kind of pulls them all tighter in a way. You kind of lose some of the detail of it, but it looks pretty cool actually. I'm kind of thinking it looks like something else I've done before, but more in pendant form, and it's like this but doubled on the other side. Some of my ornaments for Christmas trees. But let's look at this ending again. So I've got this over here. I like this side better for sure. So yeah, I think that's what we'll try that on both sides and see what happens. Well, let me check here real quick. Make sure I'm actually got comments open. Yeah, okay, they're open. Just want to make sure I wasn't had something messed up and didn't realize it. Alright, gotta find the opening. Where you at? There you are. So, I'll take that on out. We're never going to use a different ring on that anyway. I used the big one through 3. And then this one went through 2. And then, did I use a small on that side? Yeah, so let's take this one off. Put it in the proper place like the other side. It was there. And we need this one to be over top of it and then going through 3. So through this way. Alright. And then we'll go to this next one. Next size for the single. Let go. You're open to enough. That sounded like Marvin the Martian for a minute. I miss Marvin the Martian. Alright, and then 2 small reds. And a single blue again. Attaching the lobster class to it. I think that's the route we'll be going. And there goes my camera again. I guess it's a good thing we're about done here, because that's going to drive me about bonkers. Especially if I can't figure out why it's doing it. I know it's got to be something silly. Let's see here on top. No, each one goes under, so That'll be one of the first things I'm going to do when we get done with the stream is figure out why it's doing that. I have to pull it back down to figure that out, but that's alright. Yeah, and then onto the clasp. Yeah, it's definitely a bit different than that other one that I thought I had done this weave before. Before I learned about it, it just looks similar-ish. Because of the ring size changing, but alright, so I can hook that up there. And it looks kind of parted there. On the other side, it tightens up, so it's almost got two different looks to it. That's kind of strange, because this way it wants to tighten up, but if you flip it over the other way, it stays all out. So it's almost a two-sided bracelet. Let me see if I can get a better... Ooh, I need to be this way. See how it's kind of far apart when you got it sitting this way, but on its reverse side, you'd think it'd just be the opposite. But when you do, it wants to kind of come together. And gives you more of a tight weave. That's a little weird. I wasn't expecting that. So it's kind of a 2-in-1 type bracelet. You could wear it one way or the other. And there are weaves that are like that. Not meant to be per se, but they just end up that way. So that's weird. So I wonder what our measurements will be doing it both ways. The tight way, we're almost 8 inches, right on 8 inches. Go the other way, just slightly bigger. That's cool but weird. So we're about at the 8-inch mark where I'd want to be to begin with. So yeah, it's really weird how it kind of changes the look just depending on which side you're on. I mean, I guess down here you've got it going through all the way, and up here you just get the way it's leaning. So well, that come out pretty nice though. I'm kind of digging that. Ooh, sitting this like this gives me an idea for my moonburst that I want to do. That might work well around the outside of the ring. And then in the right colors, maybe probably black, and maybe throw in a few little silvers. Get out of here, bug. Got the back door open, so I got a bug coming in. But yeah, this gave me something to look at, because then I could go tighter on the other way. That tighter look, which also could be kind of cool too. So many ideas, so many thoughts. I'm kind of glad I picked this weave tonight, because it did put more things in my brain. I wonder how that would work. Like I was saying, like I was going to want to try to do it like this, kind of. Let's see here. Flip over there. Where I'd put they come together and then widen back out, and on the opposite side they start small and come in. And do that in a single line. But I'd have to do a changeover. I could just do a single connector to those two. That might work. So yeah, that might be what I want to try next, is making this but running the other way. The other, and I've still got, 3 more of these to do minimum. If not 4 or 5. Who knows? Grab a drink real quick. Let's see here. I wonder, and I'd rather have an earring hanging that way, probably. Down, up. If there's a hook up here, just not going to hold its shape for an earring, though. If you were to take that out, you could make it. That would be like a graduated box weave. Because if we would come in and connect the back sides, basically that's box weave. Is you got the 3 from the blue, red, and blue, the opposite side, you fold this over and you put those same rings on that side. And if you're using all the same size rings, it just becomes box weave. Another interesting thing to maybe play with at a point. It wasn't so hard to get my colors out. I would get out some more colors to try the long. Maybe I should just do it in these same colors to get a better idea. It would be a little bit wider overall, because it'd be this wide instead of this wide, but not by much. And then I'd have to use a single center connector, though. And I wouldn't be able to. The red, well, I mean, if I put one there, I'd have to use a bigger red, but then it might slide around. I mean, I guess I could. Can I get enough where I can flip and turn? Let me see here. Yeah, but see, then the other side does a weird thing, so that's going to be, as if I was just to go that way, that might open it. I don't know, because then I'm going to be putting two through that side, so yeah, it would definitely have to, yeah, this, no, this way, yeah, there we go. It'd be some way of doing something to be able to connect these two together. Those would still be going, they'd be somewhat supported. Yeah, there's room to get one more through. Let me try something real quick with this weave that's sitting here. I think I was out of view for all that looking. Sorry about that. The hazards of multiple cameras, I guess. So if I was to put that into that, we're going to try to just hook these two up real quick, not permanently, but just to kind of, I mean, I'll pull it back out, but just to kind of see what it would look like if I was to go down that road. I guess it doesn't have to be perfect closure either, because I'm looking at just the two reds and the blue here. Would you be noticing it and then again flipping back to this side on each side and coming back? But then these two would have to be connected by a single. Is there a way I can put two blues back to back here on the big side? Could either do that or use two, keep it small and just connect the two reds together. That would not necessarily even out, still be 2 to 1, but yeah. Where's the closure? Thoughts, ideas, brain power, maxing. So I don't want to get into it and not be able to show you something if I completed it. I mean, I could always just show back up. I will have pictures of it at some point, but because you connect that, it'd be lower, two on this higher side if they were small on the reds, depending on which color combo you want to go with. Yeah, that might not look too bad. Sorry, not a lot going on. More of the brain processing right now. Where are we at? Just over an hour. Now, I wish, make a drink. I've seen the camera flip before it did on the other side, so caught a little quicker that time. Yeah, if Sean's stream was going, I'd say to head over there. Hopefully he'll get his stream going again. I watched a little bit of Joshua's again today at Bracken Mail. he was having some video issues. I didn't reconnect after he had the video issue though. I wanted to, but I was trying to get set up myself, and obviously I should have spent a little more time trying to get this camera to work properly. But since we did get done with this, well within the hour, I think we might go ahead and close it up tonight. Give me a little more time to mess with this other camera real quick too and see why it's doing its thing. But see if I can get a decent or closer shot here. I don't know how close I can actually get to this camera. And that's what we've done tonight. Bracelet and supersonic wave. Give you kind of one look on one side. If it was to sit on your hand or wrist, I got a watch here, so I guess I can put it up closer. But that's what it looked like round on one side, and that's what it kind of comes into looking like on the other side. Again, I'm not sure if it's clear enough or not, but it definitely has a different look on each side, which is nice. Sometimes, you know, that can make or break the piece. Somebody's like, oh, I like both sides, I could use it for this or use it for that. So, but we're going to go ahead and close up a little early tonight. Since that came along a lot quicker than I was actually planning on it, and didn't really have a plan, I had no idea. I'm glad it didn't run over, because I do want to try to keep them into one-night things. But again, thanks for anybody that dropped in, or if you're still here. Thanks for dropping in tonight and checking out what we're doing. Tomorrow we'll be back with the large project night, which isn't real large per se. I'm working on a wrap for a root beer mug jar, a root beer jar I guess we got. That's what we'll work on tomorrow night. And who knows, we might be on Saturday, but we'll definitely be here tomorrow, and then again next Monday for more Jelly Cube work. So thanks again for joining us or watching it later. Check us out on YouTube and the Twitch. If you're in either of those, go give us a like over there. All the likes and shares and all that help get us out there. You know, the more we get, the more apt we are to show up in somebody's feed. And share it to your own feed. Get, you know, if you like chainmail, you're into making chainmail, you can still watch. If you're not and just like the process of watching it, maybe you want to try it. That's all great. Maybe you want to buy something, even better. So, thanks again, and gotta make sure my mouse is fully awake. Alright, so y'all have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.